blitz come in. Sounds like I see it in there. Hey, I'm on your turf again. This, that, you from the back of the. I got a girl.
All right, much appreciated, Coach, as we welcome all of you to our exclusive coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Coming up, it's Divisional Round Saturday, and we've got an AFC battle on tap between the Los Angeles Chargers and the Houston Texans. The first of 4 berths in the conference championships on the line here as divisional weekend in the NFL is underway. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. Here's a carry now for Keith Marshall. And he'll take this one up to about the 23. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Ooh, the juke. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
Now on first down, he'll drop the throw into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Zach Cunningham with a pick, and they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts.
Richmond. Down. Blue 80. Blue 80.
After the interception, here's Watson. Dancing to his left. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
On the ground, this is T.J. Yeldon. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. They lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
I once had a defensive player in the NFL tell me, if I beat and dominate the guy across from me, I'm helping my team. Well, winning one-on-one battles is always a part of the game, but when you have good team defense, as we just saw there, one broken tackle, but he didn't get away because the rest of the guys arrived to put him on the ground.
Reset. Down. Blue 80. Blue 80. Two jet.
Watson just beating the play clock. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. And their inaugural sack of the game coming from an unlikely source.
You mean it wasn't a linebacker? It wasn't a defensive end?
It was somebody like you.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that's a surprise for the offense. That's not what they normally get when they think about pressure.
To punt it away on 4th down, here's Drew Kaiser. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
And here's Marshall. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
I know that play went to the left side, and that's what it was designed to do, an outside handoff there. But how about the whole offensive line being involved? Seal the left side where the play was going, what they call play side. But how about on the back side? Just taking care of business to make sure no one can get there and disrupt it.
Is the biggest key the left tackle?
Without a doubt. Control that edge. Get out there. You want that left tackle. If you bring your tight end over there, either way, control the edge of the line of scrimmage. You got a chance to rumble.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Eluding the pressure right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Trevor Williams with a pick. Past the 10 to the 11-yard line, and that's where the return stops.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
They'll start out on the ground. It's T.J. Yeldon. And he'll take this one only up to about his 13-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. To throw on second is Watson. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one's maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. Here's Drew Kaiser now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. That's taken inside his own 40. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And the Texans with great field position to start this drive as they take over 1st and 10. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey already? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Give them 17 on the pickup there, and the Texans also get a new set of downs. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Flushed out right. Now he's going to send this one deep. This is caught inside the 5. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. That goes for a gain of 31. And perhaps now close to the first points of this divisional round game as it's 1st and goal.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans. Keith Marshall taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Texans have taken the early lead. The papers this week, it was all talk about how big of a game this was. Of course it is. It's the playoffs. It's the divisional round. But they handle it well. They score early.
They really did. Plenty of confidence exuded on that drive. No nerves showing. Terrific way to get things started. They are in control.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. This is their 3rd drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a 1st down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a 1st down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
They begin with a run by Yeldon. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33.
Reset. Hey, blue lady. Richmond. 2-jet.
Back now to begin the 2nd quarter with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's the Chargers here.
Richmond. 2-jet. Richmond. Come back. Black Knight.
On 2nd down, here's Watson. It's caught. Smith. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. A 1st down carry now for Yeldon. Yeldon fighting. He lost the football. And the Texans scoop it. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
Now Marshall. Oh, he slipped right by him. That good for 19 and a 1st down.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Detroit!
Right back to him on first down. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
They'll set up a throw. And unable to connect. If he had caught it, it would have been a first down. Instead, it's 4th.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And no field goal try here from the red zone offense out there. They'll go for it on 4th.
Detroit!
They'll run for it with Marshall. And he's got the first down as he gets it to the 8. Able to convert on 4th to bring up 1st and goal. That's a big 3 yards right there. Looking to throw. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation, because the silver lining, they took a sack on 1st and goal. But that close to the goal line, that still definitely hurts.
First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. They get it to him running left. And he's able to get this inside the 10 now to the 9. It's a solid pickup, 8 yards, but work still to do now on 3rd and goal. Back to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. Jaron Reed. He's the one that gets him down. It'll be a loss of 5, and it'll bring up 4th down. The kick by Fairbairn is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Chargers getting set to go. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal? And they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive with a little more pep in their step, because it didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over.
And all the way down to the 29. It's a big one there for the Chargers. 49 yards on the ground. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. They keep it with Yeldon on 1st down. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. Two minutes to play here in the first half. Back with more AFC playoff action after this timeout.
Black 99 Philly. Come back, come back. Hey, Blue 80. Blue 80. 2 Jack. 2 Jack. 2 Jack. 2 Jack.
Here's Watson now on second down. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also third down.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. It's a 7-yard run, but it does bring up fourth down.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
And Sturgis able to knock it through, and they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. So they do get the 3 points before they hit halftime. Something to build on, maybe.
Yeah, go ahead and raise the banner, right? Wave the flag. That's good. Got points, and now, as you said, they've got something to build on as they get ready for the second half.
That's fielded in the end zone. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. And now out comes Houston. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
that.
Toe Super toe.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Flush to his right. Wide open receiver complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A very solid gain of 27. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. And some room to work. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What, is it 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they'll get to that end zone real fast.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. Keith Marshall as the first half is winding down. And the Texans will extend their lead. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And the lead is now 17-3. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. Oh, and now he bowls him over. Here comes the Chargers offense now back out onto the field. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Richmond. 2 Jack.
On 1st and 10, Watson trying to lay one up deep. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go. And now a timeout defensively after that first down play. So they're going to make this offense sweat out half number one. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32.
Come back, come back. Tiger, tiger, tiger. Two jet, two jet.
The final shot before the break. Watson. This is Yeldon on the dump off. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. So it's an abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. Win or go home, that's the name of the game, and we're back underway with the second half of this AFC divisional round. That's fielded in the end zone. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Out comes the Chargers as they'll go on offense now to start this third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is a real, I'm doing it now. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. On second down, here's Yeldon. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Benardrick McKinney there to make the stop.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading the play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
They'll try to run for it with Yeldon. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Here's Drew Kaiser now as he's on to punt for L.A. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. So here's the Texans offense now. They get set to start this third quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? I mean, they score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
And able to get this one out just shy of the 25 at the 24. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19. Now a play fake here on first down. Throw left side, caught by the tight end Njoku. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 15 yards, the Texans pick up the first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations. But a guy of his size can't really hide it. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
And he's going to bowl his way forward to the 48. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. 23 yards on the play.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and of course, foot dragging.
Little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
They're going to look to throw. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at second down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line.
Enough takes to start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
No, now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Buying time to his left. Wide open, it's Marshall, complete. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Keith Marshall saving his best for the playoffs with his 3rd touchdown of the game. And the Texans will add on to their lead. And right now, Charles, I think you'd have to say their class starting to show through.
Yeah, they were disappointed not to get the #1 seed in the playoffs, but the reality is these guys can play anywhere. It doesn't matter for them.
And if they can indeed hold on to this lead, that's going to set up one heck of a championship game next Sunday.
Let's come back and watch it, shall we?
Something tells me you and I are going to be there. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And that should give his guys a spark. He's up all the way to the 44-yard line.
We all know that teams never want to use the word panic. But if they expect to win this game, it has to start right here, right now. That return just set them up for points, and it needs to be a touchdown, not a field goal.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10.
Come back. Richmond. Blue 80.
A shotgun snap for Watson. He goes underneath for Yeldon. And he'll be down deep into Houston territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 46 yards.
So what's the old expression that quarterbacks like to use when they decide to throw the football? I'm looking for either a touchdown or a check down. And he took the check down on that play, and it worked almost to perfection.
On 1st down, Watson. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off down at the 2. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, there definitely was some juice on that pass. And while tight ends don't always have the same reputation for hands as wide receivers do, in this case, that ball was expected to be caught.
They'll run to Marshall. And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Here's a 2nd and 7 now from their own 7.
Here we go.
They stay on the ground. This is Marshall again. Powering his way forward. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They go play action here on 1st down. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Williams loses the football. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
This is Marshall. And I don't know if he made it out of the end zone. No signal. Yes, it's a safety. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
The Charger offense making their way back out there. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Ebron caught left side. And he'll get to the 29-yard line. Brought down there. That throw good for 4. It's second down. Looking to throw on second down. Watson is going to flip one out here to his running back. No gain on the play, and it'll bring up a third down.
And that's when it's fun to play defense. When you're able to diagnose a play right from the beginning, get all your guys to the football and spill the play, that's when you have a lot of fun playing on that side of the ball.
Now a play fake, and it's Watson. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. On now, Kaiser, the punter, sending it away. And now out comes Houston. And the last time they had the football, they surrendered 2 points on the safety. They don't want to do that one again.
No, not at all. It's almost like a bases clearing double, isn't it? Give up a couple of runs.
Sure.
just messes things up for you offensively. But now they've got to go ahead, take it, set it aside.
And now a fumble. The ball's out and picked up by the Chargers. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet there are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. Following the fumble recovery, Watson. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Jonnu Smith, the tight end, his intended receiver. That'll bring up second down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is third and long. The Chargers on third down, a pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Watson off play action. The open man is Smith. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. of the gun. Watson. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Here's Watson to throw on second down. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And that is going to set up third and goal. From the gun, here's Watson. Being chased down. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And Sturgis able to knock it through. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. Well, with that field goal, you can argue they needed to get back within 2 scores, and they did indeed do that, but still a pretty uphill battle.
Still going to take 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns to get back into it. And as you and I know, that's a tall order against any NFL defense. They're going to need their own defense to make some plays as well to give them an opportunity.
And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about, what, the second sentence of the coach's address?
And those are so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always work out, though.
He takes this from the 30 to the 34.
Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the fourth quarter, we see both teams hold up the 4 fingers, fourth quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the 4 fingers for 4-minute offense, and this offensive line has really hunkered down and established themselves.
Now, this is where they say, put the game on our shoulders, we'll lead the way, right?
No doubt about it, and let me tell you, if you're a running back, all you want to do is get behind those big fellas, have a little vision, and find some space.
And a solid way to do that on the first play of the drive there. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And he will find his man on the end route, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10.
Let's go. 3-19. 3-19.
They'll look to throw. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down. Stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Chapman. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7. Able to stay in bounds, so the clock keeps rolling. This defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in, and all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, rake at the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score.
Chargers able to get the pressure and bring him down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
He'll drop to throw. His throw caught at about the 5. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. 11 yards, but still not enough. 4th down. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Trevor Williams with a pick. Past the 10 to the 11-yard line, and that's where the return stops. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman?
Oh, yeah,
then
that's
with
right.
the Eagles.
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it's against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. After the interception, here's Watson. But it's caught on the right side at Smith. And they finally are able to take him down at the opposite 47. A big play there for L.A. 42 yards.
Richmond. 2-jet.
Watson on first down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Now the Chargers hustling, trying to get up and get set.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and end up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. Watson now to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. Tried to go for the big one there on 2nd down. Now they're likely down to their final 2 plays.
And you know they've got to keep going for the big shot, right? So defensively, you play what they call top down. Nothing behind you. Make everything get completed in front.
Black 22. Black 22. 2-jet.
3rd and long. It's Watson. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds. So a big call there. That brings up 4th.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Desperation time. Watson on 4th down. And this is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And as a result, their playoff run may end right here. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because his confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline? An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down. The Texans send the punter out as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you're going to go to the film, find out where the game was really lost. But this is not a situation now where you're going to make up for anything.
We'll see what they do here. The pitch goes to Yeldon. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Well, on both sides, you come into this game with so much hope, so much build-up, looking to move on. One side gets to do that, but let's not forget the others. Tough pill to swallow.
It really is, because there's so much hard work, effort. You mentioned the hope to go on and maybe play in the big game itself. Well, let's see how they handle it, though. The offseason is going to be a long one for them, because they're going to eat their heart out watching other people continue to play. But can they come back the next year and find it in them to make that same run again and maybe find a way to advance?
That'll do it for us.